Hey, beautiful Scorpio. Welcome to your Tarot and Oracle card reading for November. God's Spirit Universe, please bring truth, clarity, and wisdom to this reading for the Scorpio family and help Scorpio navigate to their highest and most blessed timeline. Thank you, Spirit. All right, Scorpio, you are passionate about something. You are learning about something. You are growing in some ways. And you are creating powerful, powerful creations here. So you start with the Queen of Wands to the Hanged One. The Queen of Wands is really passionate. And then you have the Ace of Wands as well, right? And then you have the Prince of Wands. Like there's something you're extremely activated about right now. Very, very passionate about. And it's probably something new. With the Ace of Wands and the Prince of Wands, like this is nothing's going to stop you. Like this is something that you want. Your desire is strong. And so you're lit up like a match, like a fire, you know. The Queen of Wands is extremely attractive. You know, you are very attractive at this time. Not just physically attractive, but like law of attraction. Things are flowing to you, okay? So charismatic, but also potent as an attractor, and bold, very, very bold, you know. And also I will say this, the Queen of Wands is a shamaness and a priestess. She is a witch and a bruja, you know. And you have the Magician at the bottom of the deck. So you are doing magic. You're really, really magical this November, beautiful Scorpio. Anything that you want to manifest, like, you know, the words, you know, the thoughts and the deeds, you know, thoughts, words, and deeds are lining up for your manifesting power. Your magic wand is lit. I really felt that, like lit like a match, because the Ace of Wands is right in the center of your reading, you know, and that's your magic wand. So good for you. This has got to be a really, really like feel good energy for you, you know. You have the Hanged One though. You're learning a lot. You're processing, and there's something that you need to surrender to or sacrifice on this path, you know. And this could just be an internal surrender or sacrifice as well. But, you know, for a lot of you, it could be a level of discomfort because the Hanged Man, he's in a position that's not comfortable, and he's required to do the tree pose. It's a tree pose that grounds you, right? The tree pose grounds you, and you have to be very, very still when you're in the tree pose. You're going to fall over, and this is a pendulum. So you have to be very centered and still, otherwise you're going to swing, right? And really, the more you swing in the upside down pose of the Hanged Man, the more discomfort you experience, right? So there's a need to surrender to the process of something, you know. But I really feel that it's part of your co-creative process this month. Like, you know what you need to sacrifice for the creation that you're creating, or the situation that you're creating for yourself, you know. Then you have the Ace of Wands to the Prince of Wands. Woo! And this again is your magic wand, and the Prince of Wands is wielding his magic wand. And the magic wand here is a sunflower. So sunflower is your happiness, like you're making your world better. You are creating a happier life for yourself. You're taking control of your life with the Queen of Wands and the Magician. You know, you are taking control of your life. And you may have, like, with the Ace of Wands, you know, this is the beginning of something, right? You have a long way to go. By the time you reach the King of Wands, you know, here it's very small. Your wand is very small at the bottom and very large up here, which really represents, you think your ego is bigger than your abilities. Right? By the time you are the King of Wands, what you hold is much bigger than what sticks out. And that is, I am the master of my passions now. I master my passions. And so my ego is smaller than my ability, right? So like, you're going to grow on this path. It's a growth process for you. And like I said, though, it's an exciting and beautiful growth that is, again, look at all the beautiful things you're bringing into existence. A rainbow of experiences, butterflies and sparkles and all kinds of things that you love and desire, you know? And so this is making the world a better place. Not just your world a better place, but for a lot of you, you're making the world a better place. And there's just a lot of boldness and confidence. Like, you know the direction you're going in, you know? You have this lion energy here, like, again, unstoppable. And for a lot of you, there's a unicorn involved. Like, this is special. This is special. Whatever it is, I found my unicorn. Some of you are feeling that. Like, it's what you've been looking for, you know, I'm never going to find this again type of thing. So we'll get clarifiers, but I love it. And then you have the Knight of Swords. This is an astrological yod, a finger of God, a finger of fate and destiny. For a lot of you, astrology has created this opening for you, or this divine timing for you, you know. And also the Knight of Swords is going after information, receiving a lot of information, getting downloads, a lot of communication, becoming wiser, more focused, more brilliant for some of you, Scorpios. I just feel like, again, you're at the beginning of something and you're learning quickly, you know, learning fast. And again, there's that energy of unstoppableness too, you know. And then you have the Magician at the bottom of the deck. You are so empowered. You're using your talents, gifts, and abilities, and everything that you are, all of the lessons that you've learned in your life towards something, you know. I encourage you to start something that could profit, because I feel like with this kind of potential that you have right now, you know, if you don't have your own business or a product that you make or content that you create, or, you know, some communication that you put out into the world, something like that, this is the time to do it, because you're so magical, you know, so potent in that way. Let's clarify for beautiful Scorpio the month of November. Thank you, Spirit. Ooh. Wow, it's just getting deeper and deeper, beautiful Scorpio. All right. I love it. So you do have the Tower clarifying the Queen of Wands. And the Tower is something, you know, exploding in your life and being reduced to ashes for some of you. You know, something falling, a great release, a great freeing energy, a mask coming off, a humbling. With the Queen of Wands, you know, this is real fiery energy. And that fiery energy, right next to the need to surrender something, could bring down a relationship, a person, place, or thing, or an institution, or an idea, or an internal conflict that gets in the way. Nothing's going to get in the way here. Nothing's going to get in the way here at all. I can tell you that. So the Tower comes, right? And right after the Tower comes the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords is like the ultimate death card. The death of the ego, the death of an idea, disillusionment, you know. The Matrix is like taking the red pill. You know, and I really feel that with this Tower and the Death card. You can see all the red in this card. You know, it's like taking the red pill, you know. I see the world clearer. And once you see it this way, you can never unsee it, you know. And so with the Hanged One, with your focus, your stillness, and your receiving information, you know, you are getting downloads. You have the Knight of Swords with the Hanged One. You're getting information. Your crown chakra is being blown wide open. And that could be the Tower too, your crown chakra being blown open, right? And receiving information that changes everything. You know, a lot of these cards are showing crown chakra opening. Then the Ten of Swords ends a way of looking at things, ends a way of thinking about things, and a new way of seeing things, you know, a new understanding. And I mean, it might be uncomfortable. I mean, goodness gracious. The Tower with the Ten of Swords can be a level of discomfort, to be sure, but the Hanged One is uncomfortable. It's you know, the need to stay centered during changes for a lot of us, during upsets that might swing you, and just having to readjust so that you don't swing pendulum, right? But you have it in you, and that's what you're doing, literally. So it's just, you know, saying that's what you're doing. You know, when all of these upsetting events come or realizations come, you know, this is spirit, this is your higher self, this is your God's guides and guards, helping you through this alchemical transformation, basically. You know, and you are doing alchemy. You are changing. I saw that in October for you, and I see it strongly here. And the change is for the good. These are such empowering cards. Then with the Ace of Wands, you have the King of Wands. And that's so interesting because I talked to you about with the Ace of Wands, your ego is larger than your ability. And with the King of Wands, your ability is larger than your ego. And here you have the beginning of the suit and the end of the suit together, right? It's very, very interesting. It's very all-encompassing energy. Like you are the wands right now, you know? The King of Wands is extremely passionate, though, I'm telling you. The kings are masters. So you are the master of passion, the master of your fire, you know. Again, like self-control, because the kings, you know, have great control. They're sovereign. And with the Hanged One, there's that self-control, right? So the king, and you know, this is the universe inside of you, all these stars, like the universe, again, reflective of the astrology working in your favor. You know, like I just know that something powerful is happening for you, Scorpio, at this time. And it's just, obviously it's preordained, and it's all about like massive change, right? But also what you really want. And those two things have to both happen synchronistically, or they have to be synchronized. And then the Prince of Wands with the Moon. So the Prince of Wands is creating what it is that you love, going after what it is that you love, embodying it, making it happen, and wielding your magic wand. And the Moon is what's hidden, what's occulted, you know, what people can't see. It's very, very scorpionic, you know. It's a scorpion or a crustacean coming out of the depths that is starting his transformation from scorpion to eagle to Phoenix, which is the path of beautiful Scorpio. So this is like, and look at also, this moon is screaming, his mouth is open, screaming, right? So it's like out of your depths, out of the depth of beautiful Scorpio, this tide is rising, this creation is being born, you know? It's very subconscious energy. It's very like dreams, repressed feelings, repressed emotions, repressed memories too, you know, deep, deep subconscious coming to light. And this is part of what's driving your co-creative ability at this time, your magic at this time, you know. And I just want to say, with these two cards together, the eyes really, really speak to me. Where focus goes, energy flows. There's a lot of energy in your reading, like a lot of energy. So stay focused on what you want. Keep your eyes on the prize. And that's what this card says, you know. So just remember that when distractions come, guard the gates of your mind. Yeah. And then you have the Page of Wands, which is just like the Prince of Wands in this deck. All right. So you have the Page of Wands twice, clarifying the King of Swords. So again, really, really passionate. But let me tell you, this Page of Wands knows something, and no one can tell her otherwise. This is Joan of Arc, who's going to war in the Crusades, and the King of France, I believe it is, offers her his own sword to go to war with. And Joan of Arc says, no, thank you. I already have a sword. Spirit told me where it is. It's buried underneath the pulpit where the priests used to speak of an ancient church in backcountry France. This is, I hope it's France. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And so they go to the church where Joan of Arc says that she was told that it is, and they dig under where she was told to dig, and there's an ancient sword buried there. And she knew it was there because Spirit told her it was there, and that's the sword that she took to war. So it's like, people outside of you can offer you what looks really valuable. They could offer you advice that seems really valuable. They could offer you help that seems really valuable. But your intuition, your intuition, that's something the moon really speaks to as well. You know stuff. Don't question yourself. Don't allow other people to question you. Right now, that's a really potent part of your magic. That sword that Joan of Arc went to war with was a big reason that she was victorious. If she was victorious. I don't think it ended well for Joan of Arc, but it's the story that's told, so whatever. Anyways, your intuition is going to be a major tool for you at this time. And then at the bottom of the deck, you have the 10 of discs. So for some of you, this is an inheritance. For some of you, this is a great harvest as well. Something that secures you. This could be an increase in money too. Like this could be a raise, or if you are in business for yourself, a big influx of investment or capital. Like this is really a wash with wealth, but this is also like the end of a period of manifestation and the beginning of a new one. The tens are like the wheel of fortune. You're ending one cycle of manifestation and you're about to begin a new cycle of manifestation. So in some way there is that, just keep your eye out for that and understand that that's part of this process. Like finishing things up, finishing up the harvest, I want to say, reaping fully. And then just know that that's not the end. There's a new cycle to begin as well. It's really good news financially for a lot of you beautiful Scorpios though. Okay. Spirit, give us more for Scorpio in November. Thank you. All right. What else do we have for Scorpio? 2 more. Oh, all right. Okay. I'm just going to point this out too. At the bottom of this deck is the Queen of Wands, and the beginning of this one was the Queen of Wands. So it's like between these 3 decks, your reading starts with the Queen of Wands and ends with the Queen of Wands. Super potent magic, witch energy. And look at this Queen of Wands. She's wielding a magic wand with a sunflower, and he's got his sunflower, right? There is this need or this energy of follow the sun, because that's what sunflowers do. When the sun rises in the morning, the sunflower lifts its head and looks at the sun, and as the sun crosses the sky, the sunflower continues to face it and then puts its head down at nighttime, right? So it's like, only go where you're happy. Only go where you feel light, airy, and free. Because that's part of your magic too this month, right? I think that's what you're doing anyways, really. So, and then you have 7 of Wands, clarifying the Queen of Wands. And remember, the Tower was in this row. So the 7 of Wands is defending your position at the top of a hill, not letting anyone knock you off of your high horse. You know, before the Seven of Wands is the Six of Wands, where you come home victorious after war, and people are applauding you, giving you accolades, right? You have achieved something, and then people see that and they want to challenge you, you know. And that's what this is, like the evil eye, really, for a lot of you. I feel like, so, you know, people are trying to give you the evil eye, but they can't. Like you have this defensive posture. You're not letting anybody in. You're not letting the wrong energies in. I stand corrected. You are stronger now. Like, you know what to do. And that could have a lot to do with the Tower. You know, if there are relationships or people in your life that are trying to knock you down a peg, those relationships will fall, or those situations will fall. You know, if you work at a job where they're trying to demean you, that kind of thing, those things will fall, you know. And the Seven of Wands is why Spirit wants you to stay guarded, right? And then you have the Strength card, clarifying the Hanged One. And of course you have the Ten of Swords as well. So the Strength card is internal strength. Like you're stronger now. I really feel that. I felt that with this, and I feel that with this, right? Being still, surrendering, taking the time to listen to yourself, to stay centered, and allowing the process to happen without squirming, really, you know, is making you stronger. And because you're stronger, you're able to do that tree pose, right? So it's just like, again, you are doing alchemy within yourself. You are transforming yourself in this process. And what comes out after Strength here is the Magician. And both cards here have this lemniscate, I think it's called. It's an infinity symbol over their heads. And the infinity symbol is just saying, like, well, it's saying a few things. As within, so without, as above, so below, right? And that's what the Magician is actually saying. As above, so below. As I think, so I am. As I focus on, so manifests around me, right? As I intend, so I experience. And just knowing that, again, is that that Hanged One energy, right? Of focusing on the world that you want to experience, and allowing that, finding that within yourself. Also, the Figure 8 means it reminds you who you are. You know, I really feel like there's this energy of remember who you are. There's so much potency here, right? It's because you have infinite potential, because you are an eternal being, because you are non-temporal and outside of time, because you are God manifest. You know, that is why you're able to tame a lion, or tame the lion within, you know, frankly. And that's why you're able to wield magic and create the life of your dreams again, right? The Magician coming out twice is beautiful. Like, it's just like saying, I am that empowered. And the Magician does that. You know, the Magician is thinking up here about the garden that she wants to grow, and then she's pointing down with her intention, and it's growing all around her. And that's what you are literally doing. And that's clarifying the Ace of Wands. Like and the Ace of Wands again is your magic wand here, right? So your magic is making this happen. And I will say too, also, that you have the King of Wands and you have the Queen of Wands twice. So these are divine counterparts as well, you know, like there could be love here. There could be partnership in this. You know, I feel like for a lot of you, there is that, you know, with all this passion, it would be very passionate partnership, probably, indeed. I will say that too. And I just want to point out the imagery on this Magician card is rather, there are some things in it that are Dr. Seussian, right? It's like, this unicorn, you know, there's something very different here, very like otherworldly that you are bringing to life, or that you are experiencing, you know, something very, very different. And that makes it special, you know. And then you have the Nine of Pentacles, one of my favorite cards, with the Prince of Wands. And you had the moon in this row, okay? So the Prince of Wands being that passionate embodiment of what it is that you want to create, as above, so below. You have the Nine of Pentacles, growing your garden. And this is self-sufficiency, self-sufficient energy, growing your own garden, being your own boss, entrepreneurial energy, not leaning on someone else, you know? And that could be what this is. Quitting your job or leaving school and unschooling yourself, or, you know, deciding I don't need as much money as I thought, so I'm just going to go into business for myself, or something like that. Or I have such a harvest that I'm just going to take this seed money and start my own business, something like that. Or even in partnership, you know, like, this relationship is not working for me. It doesn't serve me anymore, I want to say. So I'm going to spend some time alone in doing me for a change, you know. The Nine of Pentacles is a beautifully empowered energy of wisdom, maturity, you know, and again, that strong harvest energy. Okay. And then you have the Four of Cups, clarifying the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords going after information, receiving downloads, receiving communication, receiving clarity, fast, sudden acceleration, a finger of God, the Yod, the Joan of Arc. I know what I know. You can't tell me otherwise. You have the Four of Cups. Emotional grounding, you know. The fours are very, very grounded, and the cups is your emotions. So it's like emotional stability too, you know. It looks like not a super happy energy, kind of like being in the doldrums, but really it's like, I'm going to ground my emotions. I'm going to anchor my emotions. I'm going to stay centered. I'm going to stay meditative. I'm not going to give myself over to this experience, you know. And also, for some of you, this is an Ace of Cups being handed to you from the universe. A new relationship, a new love, a new something that makes you super happy and super fulfilled that you don't see yet. You know, you have to turn your head and look, right? So, and you will see it, you know, but there could be disappointment in these spilt cups, right? So a need to look around and find the silver lining or the next page as well, you know. And then you have the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck, just that really beautiful creatrix energy, passionate goddess of creation energy, you know, super empowered, divine feminine. I am making this happen. People love me. People are drawn to me, really attractive, like I said, that kind of thing too. Right? And then you have Thicket of Thorns, uncertainty. And you're like going through this path with butterflies around you. You know, this is part of change. Like there could be a level of uncertainty moving forward. The moon speaks to that as well, right? So it's like maybe not being certain about something. This does not go with the rest of your reading, but I'm just gonna say it like I receive it, because two things can be true at the same time, right? A need to go slowly in a certain direction because there could be pricks and thorns around you, you know. So be mindful, be wary, be open again to information. Daffodil Fairy, new beginnings, powerful new beginnings, passionate new beginnings. And I get that with the Daffodil Fairy, again, like that unicorn energy or Dr. Seussian energy, something really special and otherworldly. And Spirit Guardian of Autumn, letting go with that Ten of Swords and the Tower card, you know, and that's what autumn does. It brings falling leaves and change, and then we go into a period of stasis, right? So there, you know, there is an aspect of the need to let go in order to receive in your reading, you know, to surrender with the Hanged One in order to receive. So obviously that's going to be a theme for beautiful Scorpio. And then you have Heron, patience. Create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. Take time alone to find balance. Step confidently toward your purpose. Patience will bring you rewards. So good things are coming for you. Good things are coming for you quickly as well. But again, that energy of stillness with the Hanged Man is inevitable. All right. So thank you so much for being here, beautiful Scorpio. Thank you for being you, and I'll see you next time. Peace.